Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Yolo. Coming to you live from the beautiful Grand Princeodium here in downtown Ventura, California. We're so happy to see you. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. I think I can venture to say it's going to be a super day. Okay, dad jokes. Please join me in singing this little song we might call Joy Bank. Make a deposit to the joy bank, to the joy bank, to the joy bank. Make a deposit to the joy bank, to the joy bank today. Make a deposit to the joy bank, to the joy bank, to the joy bank. Make a deposit to the joy bank, to the joy bank today. 'Cause happiness is wonderful, but doesn't last too long. And the joy bank is always open, and your account can never be overdrawn. Make your deposit to the joy bank, to the joy bank, to the joy bank. Make your deposit to the joy bank, to the joy bank today. Let's sing what you want here. Happiness is wonderful, but doesn't last too long. And the joy bank is always open, and your account can never be overdrawn. Hey, make your deposit to the joy bank, to the joy bank, to the joy bank. Make your deposit to the joy bank, to the joy bank today.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, what a terrific morning this is. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Yolo. My name is Reverend David Clark. I'm the senior minister. And boy, howdy, I am very happy to be here with you today, and we have a wonderful service. Dare I say, this could be the best service ever. Today.
You were going to say super.
I'm not leaning into the super thing, but it is Super Bowl Sunday, and for those of you that care and are still here and not just immersing yourself in Super Bowl stuff, we welcome you. We're glad you're here. And welcome to our online audience. Hello, our stream is going out now across the universe, loud and strong, so people can hear us on distant planets now. So we're universal. Let's say good morning to our music director, Billy Larkin.
Good morning, how you doing?
I am good, Billy.
Good, good. I'm excited though. I love Super Bowl Sunday. I think it's one of the greatest come-togethers for our country and the world. You know, so many people are going to be watching that. It's one of the highest-rated TV shows of all time. So it's pretty interesting, and they're dedicated to keeping their DEI. Roger Goodell came out and said that. So.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm stoked. And today is kind of interesting. This is the first time I think that this is an all Larkin musical service. All the songs that we're going to sing today have all been written by me. And that's the first one I've ever.
That means you will not hear any of this music anywhere else. But here, you have to come here to hear Billy's music.
Until he's done with his songbook.
Until he's done with his songbook and distributing it out to centers across the nation.
That's happening.
Yes.
Yeah, so awesome. Awesome. I am happy this week too because we have a very special guest speaker.
Yeah.
Very special guest speaker. a friend of mine for, nearly 20 years, a mentor, a wonderful spirit, a gifted speaker, a great teacher, and just an all-around wonderful person. Reverend Patricia Van Workum is with us today. Yay. All right. So, so on with the service. What do you say?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. All right. You may be wondering what you've gotten into today. What is Science of Mind? And, I forgot to mention another thing to be grateful for, a thing that I'm very, very grateful for, that this is the last Sunday that I am going to have this appliance in my mouth. I'm having my dentist. I have a dentist appointment for this Wednesday, and they're going to put in a break. I'm telling you guys everything. I may be telling you too much, but I'm so excited about this. For the last 2 years, I couldn't sing. I couldn't play harmonica because I had this replacement tooth in my mouth, and I couldn't do anything. But that is leaving on Wednesday, and my mouth is returning to me, full use. So I'm super stoked about that. It's been a long 2 years and just a wretched journey, but it's almost over, and God is good.
Yes, all the time.
That's right. All right, so, and now on with the service. Now we're done with that personal item. So you may be wondering, what did I get myself into here? What is Science of Mind? Well, Science of Mind is a spiritual philosophy that teaches individuals how to live from their inherent greatness by aligning with universal spiritual principles. It emphasizes that God and good. It emphasizes that God is within everyone, and through the power of mind, affirmative prayer, and intentional thought, we can create a life of joy, success, and fulfillment. We believe by recognizing our divine nature and infinite potential, we can express our highest self and live with purpose, abundance, and love. So that's what we're all about here. And so we exercise that power a lot through our beliefs and through what we choose to believe. And we have 4 core central beliefs here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Yolo, and I want to share those with you now. Number 1, we believe that love is all there is. Everything is an expression of love, a call for love, a result of love. You try making one move in your life without thinking of someone that you love or something that you love. I dare you. So love is a motivational force, a powerful force that is always exerting its influence on us. So we acknowledge that by just saying that love is all there is. Number 2, we believe that all thought is creative and influential. Thoughts are things. You are the result of thought. This building is the result of thought. Everything around us was preceded by a very intentional thought. So we pay a lot of attention to what we think and believe in this philosophy. Number 3, we believe that you are whole, perfect, and complete exactly as you are right now. Exactly as you are. Even with all the things and initiatives and things you want to do in your life and changes you want to make to yourself, to your body, to your job, to everything you've got going on, with that in account, you, the you that is you, the you that is making all these decisions and choices, is whole, perfect, and complete. And we know this because we come from a whole, perfect, and complete source that only makes whole, perfect, and complete things. So it's a very easy calculation for us to make. We believe that about ourselves, and we believe that about each other. Number 4, we believe in a world that works for everyone, and we're working from that world together. It's a world that operates on love and law and cause and effects, the same as it has done since the beginning of time. And we're using those universal principles to bring good into our lives. As much good as we can carry, as much good as we can stand into our lives. So now it's time for my favorite time of the day, our Namaste time, a time where we get a chance to look at each other in the eye and acknowledge immediately, before anything else, that divine spark that is within us all. And we do that with Namaste. So let's have our Namaste time. And if you're so bold, swing by the camera and say Namaste to our online audience as well.
Namaste.
Oh, how wonderful. Just for a moment, in the midst of all the love that we just shared with each other, let us just take a deep breath. And breathe in all that love. Terrific. So now I'd like to welcome our practitioner, our practitioner of the day, Marty Myers. She's going to share with us our vision and mission and today's affirmation. Good morning, Marty.
Yeah, so it is my honor and pleasure to share with you our vision and mission statement. I'll read it first and then invite you to join me. Our vision is to create an environment for all to realize the power of spiritual connection. Together. Our vision is to create an environment for all to realize the power of spiritual connection. And our mission statement is to provide a sanctuary for all to be lifted and inspired to embody spiritual principles and live their inherent greatness. And together, our mission is to provide a sanctuary for all to be lifted and inspired to embody spiritual principles and live their inherent greatness. And each week we have an affirmation. This week, our affirmation is, I embrace the wonder of life, knowing I am enough. Let's say that together. I embrace the wonder of life, knowing I am enough. Thank you. And now I'm going to invite David back up to do the announcements.
Hey, y'all. Remember me? All right, first up, we've got our season of peace and nonviolence. We are in it right now, and it was created with by the Association of Global New Thought, and it marks the 64-day period between the assassinations of Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King. And it is, the intent is to focus on peace and nonviolence within ourselves, our communities, and the world. And that is something that we all need to focus on now, is peace and nonviolence in ourselves, our communities, and our world. It is a very serious endeavor and worthwhile. And to commemorate that, one of the things that we're doing, we're going to have events throughout that 64-day period. But our next event coming up is we're going to create vision catchers. And they're like dream catchers, but for visions. So, yeah, to get more into that, you'll have to come to the class and check it out. But it's led by our wonderful practitioner, Dr. Deborah Taylor. And it's going to be hosted by Tracy and Jason, who aren't here today, but their address is on the screen right now. And they'll have snacks and drinks and materials. So they do ask that you bring any small tokens or items that you want to weave into your catcher, like a gemstone or a bead or something like that. And you can sign up in the lobby at the welcome table. And for this, we are accepting love donations so that we can keep these activities going. Next up, we have June Robinson's Gratitude Group, hosted by, of course, June Robinson. And if it's June Robinson's Gratitude Group, I guess it should be hosted by June. Thinking about that now. But yes, but anyway, it happens, the next one, it's a monthly group, and followed by a book review every second Tuesday of the month. So the next one is February 11th, which is next Tuesday. And for more information, you can text June at that number. And she's also sitting in the back corner right back there. Raise your hand, June. And you can come and ask her about it. And lastly, is there one after this? No, it's time for our congregational song. So that is it for announcements. I don't usually... What?
Where's Dixie's? It's a Friday group. Yeah, Dixie's.
Friday.
Book group.
Oh, yeah, Dixie's book club. Where'd that slide go?
We're meeting once a month now because it's too hard for people to come out every Friday.
Okay, so yes, Dixie is still running her book club, even though we don't have a slide for it. She is sitting right there. She runs it one day a month out of her house. And if you want more information, please swing by and talk to Dixie. Dixie, raise your hand, so everybody knows who you are. And Dixie's wonderful family. Thank you, Dixie, for providing that. And now, that is it for the announcements. So thank you.
Thank you, David. Please join me in singing Holy, Holy as we enter into the more contemplative portion of today's service. Holy, 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 holy one.
Good morning. We have a very special reading this morning. It's by Thich Nhat Hanh. We can imagine there are many doors leading to happiness. Opening any of those doors, happiness will come to you in many different ways. But if you are attached to one particular idea of happiness, it's as though you have closed all the doors except one. And because that particular door does not open, happiness cannot come to you. So don't close any door. Open all the doors. Don't just commit yourself to one idea of happiness. Remove the idea of happiness you have, and happiness may come right away. The fact is that many of us are attached to a number of things we think are crucial to our well-being. A job, a person, a material possession, an ambition. It could be anything. Even though we suffer a lot because of it, we don't have the courage to let it go. But the truth may be we continue to suffer precisely because of that. Each one of us has to look deeply and see this for ourselves. It needs great insight and courage to release our idea of happiness. But once we do that, freedom and happiness can come very easily. And that's from the Zen and Art of Saving the Planet. And next up is Marty Meyer, who will bring us our invocation.
Welcome. I invite you to just take a moment, relaxing, breathing in into that heart space, breathing out, letting go of everything that came before this moment. And just come into that place of understanding that there is really only one thing going on here. There's just one power that flows through all that exists. There's one intelligence that indwells all things, one presence that embodies all things. And this something is the sum total of all good. It's love and peace, freedom and abundance, wisdom, everything good. And it is flowing in and around us. It is everywhere in the universe. It is in every cell of our body. It's who we are. And just feeling that. Being in this deep, deep understanding of oneness opens our hearts in gratitude and thanksgiving, and in trust and in faith. And so I'm blessing this service. I am blessing Reverend Patricia Van Werken for her words of inspiration and insight. I'm blessing Billy Larkin for his amazing, wonderful music. I'm blessing Patrick Hennessy, holding things together technologically in the background so everything runs smoothly. I'm blessing everyone who came early to help pull this service together. And I'm blessing everyone who's here to enjoy it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. And knowing that everything is unfolding in absolute perfection exactly the way it is, we just release and let go. We allow it to be so. And we affirm it with words. And so it is.
Thought that I would travel to every place on earth, embracing new adventures, risking all for what it's worth. And then sometimes life just doesn't look like what I thought it would be. But when I take a God's eye view, it's good enough for me. What I have is good enough. Where I am is good enough. I am whole and complete, and I know that I am good enough for me. I thought I would compose a symphony one day, or write an epic novel, or pen a poignant play. But sometimes life just doesn't look like what I thought it would be. But when I take a God's eye view, it's good enough for me. What I've done is good enough. Who I am is good enough. I am whole and complete, and I know that I am good enough. Yes, I know what I am good enough, and I know that everything is good enough for me. For me.
Good morning.
Morning.
I have to tell you that between that music and the invocation, I don't think you're going to hear anything new from me. The title for this morning's talk is You Are Enough, The Art of Happiness. And I got to tell you that sitting there while you were singing Holy, 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 with your voice in one ear and Heather's in the other, was absolutely perfect. Joy unfolding. Whew. Okay. I loved today's reading with Thich Nhat Hanh's metaphor of opening doors to happiness. I do, however, need to set a little background about the difference between happiness and joy. Happiness, in my mind, is joy's third cousin once removed. Okay? By that, I mean it's a pale and fleeting shadow of true joy. Happiness is always from something outside. It has shallow roots, and so it does not last. I mean, your song was just the joy bowl, perfect. The joy bank. Joy, on the other hand, is what Thomas Troward calls an essential quality of God. It's a central part of God's nature, therefore an essential part of our nature. If you remember, Troward's hierarchy begins with life, love, light, power, peace, beauty, and then joy. It's like this whole arc of life ends in joy. To think that maybe the purpose of life's expression is to experience joy. Maybe that's why we're here, is that life can experience joy by means of us. Something to think about. While Thich Nhat Hanh speaks of happiness in his reading, I think he's trying to lead us more deeply, more into joy. The key insight into the experience of joy is wholeness, which has come up in the music and that wonderful invocation. Thank you, Lord. You will hear me say this over and over again this morning. The key insight into the experience of joy is wholeness. Wholeness is another word for that singular presence that is always present in, through, and around us. Infinite good, wholeness, is always present. This means that however we are in the moment, however the world is in this moment, there is wholeness. There is infinite good present here and now. All the parts of us, the parts of me that I like and the parts of me that I don't like so much, are still part of wholeness. Nothing exists outside of wholeness, and nothing is outside of the divine. As Holmes writes, we must come to believe that at the center of our lives there is a wholeness. And we should think of the mind as the door through which it enters. That last phrase is a little tricky. It's hard to hear what Holmes wrote because I'm so used to hearing it the other way. We should think of the mind as the door through which wholeness enters. Wholeness is inside me. Wholeness is around me. But the door opens in my mind. There are two primary challenges to our knowing and accepting our wholeness, both in ourselves and in the world. Two primary challenges to living in joy. The first one is a belief in lack. A belief that we are not enough, and there is not enough in the world. Holmes writes, back of happiness is the thought that there is not good enough. This is behind happiness, remember? That which is reflected in the world is the belief that there is not enough. Not enough love, peace enough, health enough, nor understanding enough to go around. So that as a result, some of us lack or are short of the good things in life. Since this is a belief, much of the mental work in Science of Mind revolves around truly understanding the concept of infinite wholeness and infinite good. Wholeness is not present in bits and pieces scattered here and there. Wholeness is always and everywhere, or it would not be infinite. You can't have a part of something and have it not someplace else, and it to be infinite. It just doesn't work that way. It's not what infinite means. So to know our own wholeness is to know that we are always enough. This is simple logic. It's hard to remember at times. So we lean into faith in order to feel what we know is true. A belief in lack causes fear. So we also use our mind to remember that fear is false evidence appearing real. We use our trained minds to step back and remember that there is always infinite wholeness. And we are of that whole. The whole that created universes doesn't decide to not show up for you. It is always and everywhere. always abundance and never lack. Lean into what you know is true. I have a kitchen towel hanging off my oven that says, equal rights for others does not mean fewer rights for you. It's not pie. I love that image. There's not this finite pie that we have to cut in smaller and smaller slices to make sure it goes around. It's infinite. And I just love that image. I love how thinking about this pie shows the ridiculousness of the whole concept of lack. And the handy phrase, I think, works for everything. Abundance for others does not mean less richness for you. It's not pie. Others finding love in their perfect partner does not mean less love for you. It's not pie. Remember, wholeness is everywhere and within everything. Infinite good is everywhere within everything. Infinite means it's not pie. The second challenge to joy is that inner feeling of emptiness, that hole we have inside. Some people call it the existential void. They want to be all academic about it. But the aching is something we all have inside of us. And it generally comes from old hurts, wounds, and or traumas. Some of these wounds may be from our family, some of them from our education system, our faith communities even, or from societal and cultural institutions that reinforce some kind of hierarchy of values that determines that some people have more self-worth, or some people are worth more than others. That's real, but it is not true. I had a therapist once who said, some days we all wake up with our umbilical cords in our hands, looking for a place to plug in. It's a graphic image, isn't it? That's why it stayed with me for almost 40 years, let me tell you. I'm going to say it again. Some days we all wake up with our metaphorical umbilical cord in our hand, looking for a place to plug in, to soothe that hole inside, that aching emptiness. The aching is a true feeling. Unfortunately, it is also true that no outside entity, no person, place, or thing can fill the hole in our soul. It is only, plugging into the outside world creates codependency and addictions. That's what addictions are founded in, wanting to plug in out there to fill in. The solution is very simple, but not easy. It's to take that umbilical cord and plug it back inside, where we know wholeness is. We plug it into our own wholeness. Remember where we started this morning? The key insight into the experience of joy is wholeness. We must plug back into our own knowing of wholeness within. Find that wellspring of joy that is the purpose of our creation. We find the source within so that we may more fully realize it in the world. We talk about wholeness being everywhere in the world. So one would think I could plug in anywhere and tap into wholeness. But we don't. We tap into the surface of things, like happiness, and it does not fulfill. It has shallow roots. It goes away. So we constantly want more and more and more because we're never filled. Because we don't touch that wholeness outside until we are connected to it inside. And then we live from the inside and recognize it on the outside. But what hides that wellspring of joy from us, that being able to connect with the wholeness within ourselves, is the trash that we have picked up as we experienced our traumas and the usual slings and arrows of misfortune that life brings to us, the limited beliefs, the half-truths, and the outright lies that we come to believe. Also hiding our wholeness from our sight are the parts of ourselves that we have stashed away where no one can see them. The exuberant and loud child that was not allowed to be exuberant or loud in their family. The sensitive child that was not appreciated. The smart child that had to hide how smart they were. Whatever part of us that was not welcome or even punished, we hid in the shadows. And psychologists call this the shadow. And it's a powerful and mostly unconscious operation in our life. Just because you hid it in the shadow doesn't mean it went away. Nothing goes away. The body remembers. Taking science of mind classes is a great way to begin to uncover our own wholeness. And I mean that literally. When we take classes, we uncover our own wholeness by peeling back that trash that we have put on top of it, removing the beliefs and the partial truths that are just covering it up. It's one of the most amazing paradoxes in this spiritual work we do. As we work with our shadow, we find new doors that open to let joy flow back into our lives. By looking at that which may have caused us such pain, loss and grief, racism, abandonment, bullying, betrayal, abuse, whatever it was, we also find that part of ourselves that has never been hurt, never been damaged, that knows no shame, because it is as it has always been, whole, perfect, and complete. The place of our wound is also the place of our healing. The spiritual journey echoes T.S. Eliot's famous line, "The end of all of our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time." Robert Johnson, a Jungian author whom I adore, says that we are born into unconscious perfection, move into conscious imperfection in order to journey to conscious perfection. Conscious perfection. This is the goal of the spiritual journey, to be conscious of our wholeness that has always been within us. Again, the key insight into the experience of joy is wholeness. And we cannot be whole if we are hiding parts of ourselves in the shadow. All of us is lovable. Science of Mind classwork and working with a practitioner are wonderful tools to discover our wholeness and to learn to love all of our parts. And And this is a major part of why CSL and our centers exist. But if you have long-standing trauma or simply want to do a deep dive into yourself, shadow work is a powerful tool. If you are interested, I would highly recommend the work of the Reverend Dr. Michelle Wadley. She's part of the Planned Happiness Institute, where she's a Signs of Mind minister. And she has an incredible heart, and she has worked through so many issues. And these are her books. They're both workbooks. They're up here. You can see them after this service too. She does shadow work and forgiveness since they intersect. She has great online classes, and you can do the workbook by yourself if you're a little more private. Another reason to do deep spiritual work is that if we do not, we will have limited our doors to happiness and to joy. As Thich Nhat Hanh said in our reading today, and I don't know about you, but I keep slamming face first into those closed doors in the dark. It's not fun and it's painful. Okay? It's important for us to recognize these shadowed areas and closed doors and treat them with compassion, gentleness, and love when we walk into them. Thich Nhat Hanh also says, love starts with observing the body and mind. All of us have some kind of suffering. There may be suffering that has been there for a very long time. We have to be able to recognize our suffering and learn how to transform it so we don't transmit it to future generations. It's important to acknowledge and love all of our parts, the parts we like and the parts we don't. If we reject part of ourselves, we are denying our wholeness. That's why it's important to remember that true happiness, true joy, means acknowledging that we are complex and messy human beings. And it's okay. Everyone's in the same boat. They may act like that's not true, but it is. We're all in the same boat. Some just are better actors than others. Spiritual growth is not about getting rid of the pieces of ourselves. Let me try that again. Spiritual growth is not about getting rid of pieces of ourselves. It's about accepting all of who we are and loving it. Learning to love all of our parts is a practice. It's a journey, not a destination. This means we have to get comfortable with all of our emotions, not just the ones we like. We sometimes have to sit with what is uncomfortable for us. While the work is not always pleasant, the good news is we do not have to do it alone. In fact, I would highly recommend that you don't even attempt to do it alone. This is why we have community. This is why we're here on Sundays. That's why we're in book study groups. It's why we join Reverend David's Wednesday's discussion and his classes. If you are an introvert or just private, know that you don't have to bare your soul in front of the group. You can still take comfort and courage in knowing that everyone here is a traveling companion. We are all on our own unique paths, and we are journeying together to discover consciously our own wholeness. We are all journeying to joy. Thank you. in this moment, in this here and now, I recognize that there is a presence that has always been present. That which created universes and stars and ecosystems and mountains and valleys and created me and created you. There is an intelligence that knows exactly what it is doing. It has created life in order to experience everything, the joy of being alive. And so I throw myself open to the movement and the power of good in my life, the power for good in my body, so that every cell wakes up and remembers its own wholeness, remembers the divine template upon which it was created. I open my heart to all the love that surrounds me. I look for it. I look for the good in people. I look for the good in events, because everything works to joy. I revel in the abundance, the richness of life, all that it has to offer. I don't hoard. I don't need to collect. I simply enjoy all that is there for me to enjoy. And through this openness, Spirit quickens the life in me, awakens my consciousness, awakens my awareness, so that I am increasingly aware, increasingly conscious of the wholeness within me and around me. And for this journey to joy, I give great thanks for all this and more. And so it is.
Oh, you see, I would like a harmony part on this, but I think we'll wait till after Wednesday. Yeah, so keeping with the theme here. This is another song of mine, a pretty recent one, and it's called "The Wholeness of Spirit." And I'm going to change the key just a second. I'm whole, perfect and complete, and I can say the same thing about everyone. I am whole, perfect and complete. I can't deny it or defy it. I'm living in the wholeness of spirit. Every day brings me a new set of problems, but I can't look at it that way. Problems are really just opportunities, so I embrace the day and confidently say, say the same thing about everyone. I am whole, perfect and complete. I can't deny it or defy it. I'm living in the wholeness of spirit. Then it seems that everything is so different, and everything has its own name. And some people say that we can't come together. I'm not playing that game. I know we're all the same. We are whole, perfect and complete, and we can say the same thing about everyone we meet. We are whole, perfect and complete. We can't deny it or defy it. We're living in the wholeness of spirit. We are whole, perfect and complete, and we can say the same thing about everyone we meet. We are whole, perfect and complete, and we can say the same thing about everyone we meet. We are whole, perfect and complete. We can't deny it or defy it. We're living in the wholeness of spirit.
My turn now?
Yeah, it's take it over.
You got it right.
I got it right this time. Oh, my word. I'm not the kind of person to say I told you so. But I did tell you that Reverend Patricia was great, yes? Oh, my goodness. Oh, and this all Larkin Sunday is working out pretty well too.
Yes.
I think all these songs just fit so well. We are just so blessed here. So, speaking of blessings, we are a center that observes the spiritual practice of giving and tithing, and we call it conscious, committed, and structured giving. And there are many ways to give and expand abundance consciousness. We give of our time through volunteering, we give of our talents through participation, and we give of our treasure through financial donations. Your gifts help us in our mission to provide a sanctuary for all to be lifted and inspired to embody spiritual principles and to live their inherent greatness. This quarter's tithing partner is Meals on Wheels, and we all know what they do. They put meals on wheels and they send them to people. People that are in need of food, people that are shut in, people that can't get out, people that just love that daily connection with someone else coming to their door. There is so much good being done by this organization on so many different levels. So we want to align with that because we're all about love and connection. And so know that part of your gift to us today is going to help Meals on Wheels here in Yolo County. There are many ways to give. You can text to give. You can visit our website at cslyolo.org if you're online. And you can also send a good old-fashioned check or money order to the address that's on the screen now. And so, yeah, there are many ways to give. Or you can just give money in the plate that's coming by to you right now. So now that we know why we give and we know how to give, let us enter into that sacred consciousness of divine abundance. And I invite you to place your hand over your heart, symbolizing that vibrational energy of circulation, and say with me our abundance affirmation. I give with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive. Today, I celebrate my prosperity and my ability to share from my overflow of good. I give from the knowledge that all is well.
What goes around comes around. We give what we receive. A circle of abundance that is filled there for you and me. So give what you get what you give. Living in abundance is the only way to live. Give what you get what you give. Living in abundance is the only way to live.
We bless and release these gifts to do their work of proclaiming the good news that all is well. As we have freely given, according to the law of circulation, it returns to us, full measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. So we will always have more to enjoy and to spare, to give and to share. For this we give thanks, we let it be so, and so it is. All right, we have a special message to the children that are out there. And speaking of children that are out there, we are currently developing our children's ministry, our youth ministry, and we are asking for your help. If you've got any friends that can help us in our children's ministry, we are building that right now. So when those blessed children arrive, we are here ready for them and have programs available to them. So we want to say to the children that are on their way here and the children that we have nestled in our hearts right now that we love you.
We love you.
We're here for you.
We're here for you.
And we're so glad you're here.
We're so glad you're here.
All right. And we believe in the power connection here at this center. And what does that mean? That means that we believe that we are connected to each other. Is it out of word? Did I miss one?
No, it's not your fault. It's my fault.
Okay. So if you're keeping score at home, that was Heather's fault. Just want you all to know that. Okay, but on with the talk. We believe in the power of connection. That means that we are connected to each other and that we are all connected to spirit. And that connection has power. And we utilize that power and we bring that power into our lives and into our daily experience through prayer. So if you find yourself in need of prayer today, if you're working on something, if there's something that you need to know God's presence in, then please let us know, and we are more than happy to pray for you today. Prayer practitioners, raise your hands. All right. And just come to us and let us know that you're in need of prayer, and we will pray for you. It is what we love to do, is what we're trained to do, and it is what we are here to do, is to know that connection to Spirit. So if you don't want to ask us in person, then you can fill out a prayer request and put it in the little box that has inscribed on it God's complete vocabulary. And that is yes, yes. And you drop that in the box and we will only be reading that. It's only read by prayer practitioners and prayed on by prayer practitioners all week. The same goes for our website. You can leave the prayer practitioners an email message there. It's only read by prayer practitioners and also prayed on all week. So if you're online or if you're here in person, we have no excuse if you need prayer, but to ask. Lastly, fellowship. We'll be having fellowship downstairs after the service. Please join us down there for food, fun. I know that there's some quiche down there. I'm a big fan of quiche. Any fans of quiche? Yeah, we all love quiche. Who doesn't love quiche? So yes, and there's also other goodies down there. So please join us downstairs for fellowship in the fellowship hall after the service. And that all happens after the closing song and benediction, which happens now.
All right, please stand. Join me in God is Good. God is good all the time. God is good all the time. God is always there for me. So I let go and let it be. Love is good all
and welcome it into your heart, and welcome joy into your heart, and always know that God loves you. And so it is.
God is